Hello everyone, this is Jane EKZ again. So today is Friday, 20th September 2019. It's about 5:45 p.m. I have this sense of, accomplishment when I'm busy doing something that I love. And I love the practice of law. I love the rush of, um, going into a case and battling it out. I love, I get the feeling from it that I do when I dance. I love to dance, and dancing makes me happy. And when I'm happy, I feel like dancing. Same thing with the kind of work that I do. I love my job, and that's why I love working for myself. I like the fact that if I get a phone call now that I need to be with my daughter for whatever reason. If I get a call that says, hey, your daughter needs this, or your mom needs this, or your brother needs this, I can up and leave. If I can change my appointments around. But when you work for somebody, you don't have that flexibility. So being a mom, I really appreciate working for myself more now than ever before. I've mentioned my daughter, so clearly I'm a mom. I'm an attorney. I'm a licensed real estate broker. I have a master's in business administration, and I am also starting a PhD. But I love to learn, and these things make me happy. This is how I get my high, or like someone said in a video that I found a little bit um, off, a dopamine high. The dopamine high. So I mean, I different things make different people happy. As a woman, I feel very accomplished, and I feel like I haven't even reached the heights of where God wants me to be. And I watched a video with a girl in Nigeria. I'm not going to mention her name. She's a Nigerian YouTuber, relatively young. I say relatively young because young is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So, and she said, marriage makes a woman. I'm not quoting, I'm just paraphrasing. It's titled Unpopular Opinions, and the YouTuber Jackie Aina first did a video, and this other YouTuber, whom I will not mention, did a retort to Jackie Aina's video. Jackie Aina is she does beauty stuff on YouTube. I don't use makeup. My only makeup is my lipstick. I don't use makeup, so I don't follow Jackie Aina for that. But I, you know, watched that video because of the other video that I saw that chastised essentially Jackie Aina for Jackie Aina's statement. So I went back and watched Jackie Aina's video, and Jackie Aina's video was really kind of, it was encouraging. She was talking about herself just how I just did, and her own personal experiences and what she has learned from her past. And she was married when she was young, 21. That marriage did not work out, and she's in a good relationship now, and she still would like to get married from what I gather in that video. So she was not anti-marriage. She was simply saying that you should find yourself, know yourself. I'm paraphrasing her as well. Get to know who you are, develop yourself, and be whole before you join someone else. And that is what I believe. Now, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but I took offense to the retort video by the other YouTuber because it seemed like a personal attack on Jackie Aina's opinions, on Jackie Aina's personal opinions. It came across like it was insulting, and me as a viewer, it was insulting to me so much so that I in fact unsubscribed because I will not support somebody who essentially says that I'm not worth it. Because she went after professional women, and I'm a professional woman. Went after working women, and I'm a working woman. She went after, and when I say went after, I mean chastising, denigrating, you pick a word. And she also went after divorced women, that if you're divorced, essentially you're selfish, it's your fault because you are narcissistic, and that's the reason for your divorce. So essentially, women should suffer through any kind of relationship, just to have an MRS degree. That's what I call it, just to be a Mrs. And that's sad, and especially sad to hear from a young woman, because the message you're sending to other young women is that school is not important. And she actually said, and I'm paraphrasing, but she did say that no matter what level of education you have achieved, no matter if you're a doctor or lawyer or whatever, that it does not matter unless you're married, because marriage makes you a woman. And I totally disagree with that opinion. And I would not have even given this any kind of credence by even, acknowledging it. The much I'm doing is just I'm not acknowledging her name, but I wouldn't have even done this, mention this right now, except that, it just popped into my head. And moreover, I would like young women out there to know that that is not the way to go. And I will cite examples instead of just telling you my own opinion. Okay? Now, for example, I have a friend who I went to undergraduate with, and she did not want to go to university. She told me she's a Ghanaian girl. She didn't want to go to university. Her boyfriend at the time drove her to school, and he was about 10 years older than her, and he knew the importance of education. He drove her to school, and left her there, and she said her dad made them all promise that they would at least, that's all the children, that they would at least attain a first level university degree, undergraduate degree, and after that they could do whatever they wanted with their lives. Because education was important to him. Now, this girl, I don't want to mention her name, but she ended up graduating, and her goal, I remember one time we were talking, and she wanted to be a housewife. She loved watching soap operas. I know it sounds stereotypical, but she just really wanted to stay home, cook, clean, take care of her children, take care of her husband. But that's not the kind of life she's living now. She has never lived that kind of life, because right after university, she got a job, she got married to this same man, and things didn't work out the way she intended for it to work out. He did not have the kind of job that would allow her to live the kind of lifestyle that she desired. So she had to work. Similarly, and they need those two incomes to make the family work. They have children now. And I'm going to go across racial and ethnic barriers here, because when we talk about women's issues are women's issues at the core, irrespective of your race or ethnicity. Now, if we dig deeper into that, of course, there are variables all through. But across the board, this is why education is important for women. And by education, it's not necessarily going to school and getting degrees. It could be learning a trade, anything that would help you sustain yourself in the event that you have no one else to take care of you. Should a family fall apart because of a man's inability to produce, and by production I mean financial responsibility? What if your husband loses his job and there's no more money coming in, but you have no handwork? Can't do hair, can't do anything to bring in money, never went to school, never bothered working, you have no income. Then what becomes of the family? Now you have more problems than you started with. This is Jenny Casey here. This is a continuation of a video that I started a while back. Clearly my hairstyle is different. So I've been really busy with just daily life and career that I've not had a chance to conclude this video. But if you should know one thing about me, is that I always finish what I start. So this is a very important topic for me. It touched me when I first heard it, enough so that it was still on my mind to complete it and post it to share to young women in particular. And men could also benefit from this, especially young men. Now, the topic, clearly, if you've watched the first part of it, this is just a continuation. I'm probably going to just put it together in one video so that it's not like a part two. It's about working women and marriage. someone made a statement that I felt, in my opinion, this statement was stupid, to say the least. That a woman who has a career, a job, or who's highly educated is somehow doing a disservice to herself because marriage is more important than those things. I'm paraphrasing at this point. It's been, many months since I saw that video. In any event, to continue the story that I was telling, a man's inability to provide for a family financially should not be the downfall of that family. A man's inability to financially provide for his family should not be the downfall of the family. It's very, very important, very necessary that women play key roles in their family. You're the co-pilot. So if your husband is unable to provide financially due to injury, death, he loses his job, whatever the case may be, will you allow your family to fall apart because you simply decided that you're going to rely on a man to do everything for you? So my advice to young women is what my mom always says: get your own. She says that to her girls and she says that to her boys: get your own. You have to get your own. You have to be financially independent so that you're not looking for someone to do everything for you. Rather, you find somebody who will complement you and you work together. When you have your own, when you have some sort of handwork, and I'm not saying you have to get a PhD, become an attorney, become a doctor, a physician, whatever, an engineer, but you have to have a handwork. If you like doing hair, you can go to school to become certified to be a hairdresser, a hairstylist, whatever you want to call it. Go to beauty school. If you like carpentry, do that. Do something. Have some sort of handwork so that you are able to financially provide for yourself and perhaps yourself and your children and even your husband. Because a lot of men are undergoing stress because everything is on them. Some men even marry into a family where, they're expected to do everything. They're expected to take on the responsibility. I'm recovering from a cold, so if I sound a bit different from the first video, that's why. So some men are under stress because they're expected to carry on responsibilities of their wives' family, their in-laws. They're expected to pay school fees. They're expected to pay rent. They're expected to do a lot of things simply because they married into that family. So nowadays men have smartened up. I'm not saying they were dumb before, but they're smarter now. Okay, a pretty face is not all they're looking at nowadays. You have to have something else to bring to the table besides your beauty and whatever else you think you have that a man wants. You have to have something else. So if you think you're pretty and you've been going through life cute with your cuteness and you've been skating by, that's not going to last for too long. At some point, the next best thing is going to show up. Okay, so it's not enough to just be physically attractive, to be beautiful, or to have some kind of extra talent. I'm trying to keep this PG. That's not enough. Nowadays, men out there, especially working men and career men, they are looking for women who will not embarrass them in public. They are looking for women who know how to handle themselves at a dinner table. They are looking for sophisticated women. They are looking for women who bring something to the table. They are looking for women who can help them grow their business, their net worth. They are looking for women who can have their back in case they cannot financially provide. That's what they are looking for. They're not looking to just take care of you and all that. And I know that there are men out there who will tell their wives, hey honey, don't work, I got you, I'll take care of everything. That's fine, but use your 2 cents about this. As a woman, make sure you think about it very well before you make the decision to just sit at home. Being a housewife is a full-time job. It's a full-time job, and sometimes it doesn't come with any cash payment. Do you want to rely on a man whenever you need to get your hair done? You have to go to him to ask for money. Whenever you need to get new school uniforms for the children, you have to go to him to ask for money. Make sure that you're financially savvy. Make sure that you're financially smart, even if you choose to stay home.
if you have a craft, some kind of hard work, make sure that over the years you work in that field a little bit just to keep your feet wet, so that you know what you're doing, so that in the event that, God forbid, your husband passes away or he loses his job, or for goodness sakes, you're divorced or separated or whatever the case may be, and you need to come up financially, you don't feel lost. You know what to do and where to go. You know how to take care of yourself financially. You know how to make some money to take care of yourself and your children. There are cases where women become widows. Especially, this is not just in Africa, okay? This happens even in the so-called Western world, where a woman becomes a widow and all of a sudden she's left to fend for herself and her children, and she doesn't know where to begin. Things become very difficult very quickly. Or a woman becomes divorced, or the husband leaves, whatever the case is, and things become difficult very quickly financially. Or as a woman, you decide that you want to leave the marriage because you're suffering. Whatever your reasons are, that's your business. But you're stuck in it. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship and you're stuck there because you're thinking, I can't leave because I can't take care of myself financially. Where am I going to go? This man has been taking care of me, all this while. I don't have a bank account. I don't have money. So if anyone tells you that you don't need a career, or you don't need an education, and that all your value is based on your ability to have a child or children, look that person in the face, and just say, you lie. You lie. Okay? Your worth is more than just having a womb. Okay? Your worth is more than just bearing children. All that is great. But when you bring children into this world, you also need to have the ability to take care of those children and not always rely on some rich guy or a guy out there who's going to have a child with you and just bankroll you for the rest of your life. Be financially smart. Common sense is not very common. So for somebody to open her mouth and say, if you're an attorney, if you're a physician, if you're this, if you're that, you're nothing unless you're married, that person is lying. Don't rush into a marriage until you are mentally prepared. Being a wife it's more than just being physically ready or just being in love. You need to be mentally prepared to be a couple. It's serious business. That is the reason why people get legally married. There are contracts signed. A marriage is a contract. Okay, look at it that way. A marriage is a contract. When you get married, you have to sign paperwork. You have to have witnesses. That is a contract. Like any business deal. I mean, it sounds crass just saying it like that, but that's what it is. You need witnesses. You need signatures. It's a contract. You need to register it so that it's recognized by the states or the country, depending on where you are. It's a contract. It's a business transaction, okay? So think about it that way. So be smart about the decisions that you make personally. So when someone says, my experience is that I got married at 21 and I wasn't prepared, and, I had to, and I left that relationship, built myself up, built my career up, and now I am in a space where I can become one with another person and complement that person. There is nothing wrong with that. And I believe that's, I'm paraphrasing now because it's been months. Oh gosh, my nose is so stuffy. But I believe that's what Jackie Aina was saying. And I appreciate everything she said. Okay, and like I mentioned before, I watched her video. After watching the video where the other YouTuber, she commented on Jackie Aina's video. She had a video retort to Jackie Aina's video where she basically disagreed with Jackie Aina's opinions. Jackie Aina didn't force her opinion down anyone's throat. She just gave her opinion. But this other young lady clearly was very disrespectful. I felt, insulted as a career woman myself. So for someone to say what I worked hard for means nothing unless I'm married, What kind of advice is that to give to young women? So I am in a better position to give advice on whether, marriage is important or not, in terms, with relation to a career. Because everything she talked about, I am. I'm a career woman, I've been married, and I am a mom. So marriage is not everything. The most important thing in marriage is to find the person who is your perfect mate, who you love and who loves you in return, and you have a good relationship. So marriage is not about just rushing into something and then popping out kids that you may or may not be able to take care of, or that you're relying on a man to help you take care of. There is more to marriage than just children. Because when those children grow up and leave the house, you have to look that person in the face. And if you don't love that person, or you don't get to know that person over these years because you're so busy playing mom and not a lover to that person, you will find yourself in the same space with a stranger, and then you will not know what happened. And years would have passed. And that's, a lot of times that's even cause for divorce, because all he sees you as is just the mother of his children and not a lover or a friend, and vice versa. So like my mom said, get your own, have a career, have a life. And I'm not saying you should wait till you're 40 or wait till you're 50 to have children or to get married. No, because there's a biological clock. I'm just saying, think about it and don't feel rushed. Don't do something because Miss A is doing it. Miss A is getting married. Oh my God, we're around the same age. Now I feel pressure to get married. Don't do that, because you will be miserable. And being miserable in a marriage is not something you want to be. So that's my 2 cents on that. I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, get your own. Get yourself together.